The apocalyptic signs of water turning into blood. Bible prophecy. Ezekiel 32:6. I will also water with thy blood the land wherein thou swimmest, even to the mountains, and the rivers shall be full of thee. Joel 2:30. And I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire, and pillars of smoke. The sun shall be turned to darkness, and the moon into blood, before the great and terrible day of the Lord. A striking and shocking phenomenon has been leaving scientists and people worldwide completely baffled. As waters worldwide have begun to turn into blood, these significant occurrences are most certainly precursors of the trouble to come. July 27, 2011. Texas, USA. A lake turned blood red, prompting questions about biblical prophecies. February 16, 2012. The Beirut River mysteriously turned blood red in Lebanon. June 29, 2012. In the Azov Sea, between Russia and Ukraine. December 22, 2012.
Check this out, you guys. Blood red waters in Brazil this time. These pictures were taken around the week of April 27th. This is definitely a sign of the times that we are living in right now. The Lord said in Revelation chapter 16 verse 4, and the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and fountains of waters, and they became blood. And that is what we are seeing all around the world.
The largest river in the country to become blood. That's what I call it. I'm not going to get too grammatical. To become blood. The Bible said they will become blood.
September 7th, 2012. Yangtze River in China.
The largest river. Never ever seen anything red. For God said in Joel 2:28-29, He said, while I'm pouring out of my spirit upon the people, I'm going to be pouring out wrath. We talk about it in the World Revival Convention. Anybody remember? While there's pouring out, in the last days I'll pour out of my spirit upon all flesh. Then it went on and it said, there shall be signs in the sun, signs in the moon. Come on, somebody. And there shall be blood.
2012. Blood rain also poured out on Sri Lanka, causing astonishment. Furthermore, November the 27th, 2012. In Australia, the beaches suddenly turned blood red and the following interpretation went forth. On youtube.com/harvestarmy. November 28th, 2012. The sea turning blood in Australia signifies great distress and perplexity determined upon Australia and neighbouring countries. There is need for national repentance to hold back God's hand. Luke 21:25, and there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. January 6, 2013. Australia firefighters face threat levels not seen for years. Residents who narrowly escaped the fire front described darkness as it approached. It was absolutely horrendous. It was if it was the darkest midnight you've ever seen. CNN reports that other residents described the destruction left behind as Armageddon. January 7th, 2013. It's been an apocalyptic week in Australia, with heat so extreme the country's meteorology bureau added new colors to their weather map. In a sprawling catastrophic heat wave of historical proportions in the history of Australia. January 10th, 2013. In the midst of fires burning throughout the land, a tsunami-like dust storm swept over parts of Western Australia. The sinister-looking storm is the result of a thunderstorm, adding dust and sand into the mix. The dust storm apparently developed in minutes and swallowed the entire town of Onslow.
from the bodies of men. The blood is going to flow not from rivers, but from the bodies of men. And that's the sign. That's the sign. That's the sign.
December the 3rd, 2013. The river in Majava, a small municipality on the border to the Czech Republic, flowing through Slovakian village, had changed color overnight and turned into blood. Onlookers said it was like something from a horror film. Police have been called in to investigate the matter. Locals say the color of the river is a sign of evil.
The other night, folks smelled something strange, and then the Wenju River turned red, blood red, and nobody knows why.
But the riverbanks are covered with garbage. For now, inspectors are taking water samples for closer analysis.
Last year, more than 2,800 dead pigs were found floating in the Huangpu River, the main drinking water supply for Shanghai and its 20 million inhabitants.
The time for getting into free orbit is getting very close. Keep trying to contact him. If you do, give me a yell. Meanwhile, the rest of us will get the ship ready.
Red water from Memphis, Tennessee. They say the Bible ain't real though. Score 0 for the atheists. Score 0 for the scientists. Score 100 for the Bible.
closing half of the coast, unprecedented in extent and magnitude. California alert. There's a public health alert because of the algal tide that's stretching all the way from Alaska to Southern California. Closing half of the coast, unprecedented in extent and magnitude. California, Washington, and Alaska alert. This is unprecedented in extent and magnitude. Toxic bloom is stretched from California to Alaska, the largest ever recorded. The officials say it's new territory. We've never had to close essentially half of our coast. Fish washing up extremely poisonous. Serious concern for coastal communities. The Seattle Times reported on June 15th, 2 days ago, toxic algal bloom might be largest ever. Scientists on board a NOAA research vessel are beginning to survey what could be the largest toxic algal bloom ever recorded off the West Coast. And at the same time, two other types of toxins rarely seen in combination are also turning up. The toxin has never hit so hard in the spring or required such widespread closures for crabs. Concentrations in California anchovies this year are as high as ever measured, says Dan Ayers with Washington's Department of Fish and Wildlife. Recently spotted a sea lion racked by seizures, collapsed into a fetal position and quivered. Domoic acid contamination is rare in Puget Sound, but several beds have been closed this year because of paralytic shellfish poisoning and a relatively new threat called diuretic shellfish poisoning. The first confirmed case of diuretic shellfish poisoning in the United States occurred in 2011 in Washington state, and in 2015 it is the first time regulators have detected dangerous levels of paralytic shellfish poisoning and diuretic shellfish poisoning and domoic acid in the state at the same time, and in some cases in the same places. Obviously, we should not be eating shellfish, not even swimming in those waters, I would say. Something very strange is happening.